Did you think you were hiding your pain from your children? I used to think I was too. But the truth is, children do not need to know the full story to know that something is wrong. Long before they have words for what they're seeing, they speak in feelings. They watch the world with wide eyes, taking in every silence and every shifting shadow. They know which adults smile with their whole hearts and which ones have secrets tucked beneath their breath. When we do not explain the heavy atmosphere in a home, children naturally begin to fill in the blanks. They do this because their nervous systems need an explanation to feel safe. Usually, when they're left to their own devices, those are filled with stories that they blame themselves. If you're a mother who's been in the pit, whether that was emotionally, mentally, or physically, this video is for you. I want to speak to the women who carry a quiet kind of guilt. It's the heavy weight that says, my children were affected by what I was going through, and I couldn't always show up the way I wanted to. I want to say this to you right away. Guilt is a sign that you care. Guilt is not always the truth of who you are. Sometimes guilt is just love carrying pain. We often think that by staying silent, we're protecting our children. We think that if we do not put words to our struggle, they will not have to carry it. But that silence can sometimes be louder than the truth. When a mother is in the pit, in that dark depression, just not feeling good, the house has a different atmosphere. You may be quieter than usual, more irritable, or perhaps just emotionally far away. Even if you're in the room physically, your heart, your mind are far away. In many of the cultures that I've lived in and visited, we were taught to keep these struggles to ourselves and that was a sign of strength. We were told that a mother should be a pillar and that showing her broken parts is a failure. But children have very sharp antennas. Your body are like compasses that senses a storm pass before the first raindrop falls. Their bodies are like that. They don't understand the terminologies like depression and trauma, but they know and can sense when the light has left the room. When children feel something is wrong, but they don't understand it, they create meanings to survive the uncertainty, like I said before. They're not being dramatic, they're trying to find a map for the silence because they see themselves as the center of their own world. The meanings they create often sound like this: Mom is sad because I was too loud today, or Mom is sick because I'm not a good enough child yet. Without our voice to guide them, they inherit a legacy of not knowing. This creates a deep sense of unsafety that can follow them all the way into adulthood. They learn to watch for shifting shadows instead of trusting the ground beneath their feet. Many of us look back on those lost years and wish we could go back and do it differently. I know I do. We wish we could have been the empowered, healed versions of ourselves back then. But healing is not a race, and it rarely happens in a straight line. If you spent years in the pit, you were not failing your children, you were surviving a storm. The fact that you are here now, seeking to understand this dynamic, proves your heart was always positioned towards them, even when the clouds were too thick to see the way out of. How do we begin to heal this with our adult children? We can start by giving them a map they were missing when they were small. You don't need to give every jagged detail of your experiences, but you can acknowledge the atmosphere they lived in. Maybe try saying something like, I know that when you were younger, I was in a very difficult place. I tried my best to hide it because I loved you. But I know now that you probably felt my absence when I was even standing right next to you. I want you to know that it was never your fault. You were a wonderful child, and I was just in a storm. By speaking this truth, you're releasing them from the burden of the stories they made up to survive. But I know this is a difficult step to take. I want to hear from you in the comments. What is one thing you felt as a child that was never explained to you? Or if you're a mother who has found the strength to have this conversation with your adult children, how did they react? Your stories help us all feel a little less alone as we're unfolding. I really appreciate you for being here and for having the courage to look at these delicate spaces. It takes a strong woman to admit that her healing affects her entire family. I'll meet you in the comments to talk more about it. For now, have a beautiful day. From my heart to yours. Bye for now.